Oh, I'm doing well. Nothing crazy over here, and yeah, how are you doing? Yeah, but yeah, I think on YouTube you are muted.
I don't get why. You speak in my place then.
Wait, yeah, 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 exciting week. Can wait, can wait for the Roma game. It's really important for us and for them as well. Um, and today is April's Fools. I hate this day. All the fake news and everything.
Can people hear me now? Because I don't know what's happening because my mic, I can see my mic popping off. So I'm not sure what the issue is.
Yeah,
If it's a YouTube issue, because it cannot be my mic
no, it's good.
because, yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird because I have it on screamo so I can see if my mic is on and it's on. But yeah, the intro that's kind of screwed. Didn't say much in the intro, just nothing special, just that we chill. We chill. But we go again right now. Like you said, we play Roma this week, so it's build up to Roma. But we need to circle it back. Oh, actually, the title of the show is Tudor already in some sort of trouble? And it's very simple. Why I put the uh, why I've put that in there right now, and people are asking why. It's because of the injury of Gatti, and it's not even. Um, it's not even the point of you're losing pure quality, or like, you know what I mean, like it's not even that. It's more about the way he wants to play, like you can see on the thumbnail, it's a back three. And the injuries are just like the injuries are not going away. It's a crazy season, especially at the back. It's actually insane, if you actually deep it, let's build the timeline of our back line. And correct me if I'm wrong. First Bremer goes down, then Cabal goes down. Gatti, who always stayed fit, is now down and he's out for a month. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and going off previous injuries that players have, he's gonna be out for longer than a month. I think a month is not very realistic, but that's just me. But it's Bremer, it's Cabal, and then the injuries start piling with everybody. It's Cambiasso in and out. It's Kalulu picked up an injury out of the blue, which was a very normal injury, and he was out for I don't know how many weeks, like 5 weeks maybe.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He just pulled his hammy or something,
yeah,
right? Like, yeah,
Savona got injured as well, missed time. So the only one who stayed healthy was Gatti. Vega just came in, got injured. I mean, it's actually an insane season. We play with Locatelli at the back, a game at home. And we might see that again very, very soon, just because, like, we have three center backs right now, and Savona. But I don't know what Tudor thinks about
yeah,
Savona. We know what Motta thought about Savona, but we don't know what Tudor thinks about Savona. So that's why I'm not really including him right now, because I have no idea if I need to include him. That's why the title. How, like, how do you cope with that being Tudor? You just come in, Tudor is a start, like Gatti is a starter for you, and now it's like 1 week, not even a week at the club, and he's gone already, and you still have Cambiasso being out. And I've still no idea why he's out, but he's out still, and because he had nothing, apparently went to the national team, got something, and now is out, So how do you
yeah,
cope with that being Tudor, because that's a big blow.
yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, and we don't know what's up with Savona because he has that issue and he needs surgery at one point, and
Yeah,
I think he should have like done it already. Maybe like, what's the point? I don't understand if
because
he's
they
injured.
believe that the recovery time it's longer than than what you can get out of it with the like being
Hmm.
out and the recovery. So they
Yeah,
opted to do it, post season. But right now it looks Well,
Yeah,
not smart.
yeah. So right now the three starter CBs pick themselves basically. Like we have three healthy, um, and we have Locatelli. To be honest, I'm not really nervous about this, and I don't think he will change to a four back, like a back four system.
Back four, yeah.
Because Locatelli can do a job, and I don't know. I know that I'm watching Next Gen almost every game I watch this season as well, and Gilles Pichet is not ready in my opinion. Like he's still really raw. But he can, if he likes him, he can play as well. So
I forgot about Rui,
yeah,
to be honest, but there's a good reason why I forgot about him.
yeah, Rui can't. If we're talking about Cambiaso, even if he's not healthy, Rui is not seeing the field. I don't think so. So yeah, big troubles in the back. I wonder how Tudor copes with it, but I think he can just put whoever is healthy and then let's go.
You know,
Because yeah,
because I brought up the point, and people said we play one game a week, we will be okay. That's not, like we got injuries just in training. We got injuries
Yeah.
because somebody tried to block a shot. Like the injuries you are having this season and the recovery time attached to it is for me the problem. You can play one game a week for us or like 2 games a week. With us right now, it's just the chances of somebody picking up an injury again are just extremely high. They're extremely high. Like you cannot, like, there's no, I don't think a Juve fan can be confident saying, "Oh, we only play one game a week." Like it doesn't really matter. It does. With our track record, it does. It wouldn't surprise me if we go out there and we pick up another injury. Like nobody will be surprised. And then, because you build, what I brought it up, because his idea is a back three. If somebody goes down right now, whatever you've been doing for the last week and a half right now kind of goes out of the window and you need to go again. There's no plug. Yeah, you can plug in Locatelli there, but that's not ideal. I don't think Locatelli, he can do a job for one game, but not for 6 games. I don't see that happening as well. Considering you still need to play a Lazio away from home, a Bologna away from home. I don't think that's just ideal. I watch a bit of Bologna. Yes, they're playing Empoli, who knocked us out, by the way, but they're absolutely going nowhere. Bologna, they're going nowhere. They have an insane schedule. They have an insane schedule. They play everybody right now. However, the way they're playing, they're just confident. They're confident of beating any team. Like I can see them beat Fiorentina and Milan, obviously, and Atalanta without any issues. So that's why I'm worried about. It's more about consistency. If a player like another player goes down, Kalulu, Vega, because let's be honest, that backline, like if I told you in the summer, the first week of April, we're playing Roma away from home with a backline consisting of Kalulu, Vega, and Kelly, you will probably say, who? Like,
yeah.
Who is that? Because these are also players who are not at the club, basically, 2 of them. And one of them, I think the entire fan base has massive question marks about, Kalulu, for example, Kelly. And with Vega, it's like, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. You're not really sure. So the confidence level for me, like, it's just completely gone right now. And it's not even about losing Gatti's quality. It's just that the options and numbers, like, they're not adding up anymore. And it's already difficult, I think, for Tudor to navigate this ship, because there's no real time to do anything. And now you're playing also a Roma team who are just picking up the most points in Europe. Statistically, they are, and they are ready. Because they 100% need that game on Sunday. If they win, they're 100% in it. If they lose, they they put themselves in not an impossible position, but like what is it then? It's 6 points, right? If we win it, it becomes more difficult for even for them as well. It becomes very difficult. So I don't know. Like when I saw the news of Gatti, I was like, bad news for Tudor. It's just more headache. Because he probably had an idea of Gatti's gonna play, and now he's gonna need to go again. Knowing that he's not gonna play. Like another solution, and it's just typical for the season. I think like it's actually insane. The season we were
I
having
mean,
is insane.
numbers wise, yeah, it's an issue. But if you look at how Kalulu played after he came in on Gatti's place, he played really good
Oh yeah,
in
he
my
did play
in my
well.
eyes. Yeah. So yeah, and also, um, yeah, Tudor likes the 3-man defense, but
Yeah.
if he needs to, he can play the 4-man as well. He played it in Lazio. I'm pretty sure he did it in Marseille as well, but obviously it's not ideal because he wants to play his 3-man defense, and yeah, it's just
Also,
so annoying, these injuries.
really quick question: do you think Gatti is the fastest center back we have?
No,
Recovery pace,
no, Kalulu.
Kalulu. Okay, so is that maybe I try to dress it up a little bit? Is that a blessing in disguise? Why I'm saying this, bear with me, is because the way we want to play, try to play, we're gonna leave a lot of space in behind, and when we lose
Yeah,
possession, it can become an issue. Like against Genoa, there were some moments where it could have become an issue if you played a team with more
yeah,
quality, and you didn't get away with it. Genoa are doing much better than I could imagine with that squad, so they couldn't really do anything when we lost possession, but there was a lot of space between the back line in the midfield. That's just, if you want to press, fine. But if they beat the press or somebody misplaces a very easy pass, you can be in trouble. So I don't know. Like, is that maybe a blessing in disguise, or was it like, no, we'd be better to have both of them out there? However, I don't think that was an option for Tudor having both of them out there.
yeah. No way. Yeah, I think he has an idea of playing Vega in the middle because of his ball playing ability. The long balls. And also Kelly, I'm sorry, he played actually okay. Obviously, with the ball, he's not the best, but he's faster than Gatti as well. I think Gatti is the slowest defender we have, and he gets back because of his heart, but not with not. It's not the speed; it's just his heart, I think.
Well, the way he got injured
Um,
was
yeah,
it's hard.
yeah, yeah, and Nico Gonzalez played really well compared to how he played.
And I still
So he played
thought
really well in that wing back.
I still thought it was poor, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, there's no
I
real
would just
quality attached
yeah.
to it. That's my issue.
So that's what I want to play well there. Well, and Kalulu on that right wing. I think that's really fast, and that could cause some issues.
Do you like, because like it's a first game? Like, I don't know. He came back. He came in Monday. Had part of the squad Tuesday. Some of them came in Wednesday. Like, there was no real time to do anything.
Yeah,
It was just pep
two
talk.
practices and that's it.
Yeah, it was just pep talk, and somehow get these guys who are down bad ready to show up at home against Genoa. And to be honest, the performance wasn't good. It wasn't something to
Yeah,
be proud of. It wasn't like even just pure based on we have more quality, we're just gonna push you to a defeat. There wasn't really like you deserve to win that game. Like, we did enough to win that game. We won that game. So now it's going back to, because he said a post game, he said, I didn't have any time to actually, you know, tell the players what I want to see, and what I want to do. And I think Turam said that as well. It's like he just came in and gave us some fresh energy, but we didn't really talk about many tactical stuff. So now you had a week to fully prep against, like, for a match you need to win. Like, how ridiculous it sounds for us right now, and if you look at the form, we need to win. We have no choice. You need to keep Roma away. Like there is no ifs and buts. You know, you need to beat them. Um, what do you expect? You know, not just Roma, but like what do you expect from the team? You know, with 1 week to prep for, because I don't know, like how much can you do in a week as well?
Yeah, it's really hard to gauge what can be done in a week, especially against this Roma, who is in the best form, this the 2025 entire Europe. I think they are the best form team.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
yeah, so I think I don't know. I really don't know. Mm, I guess he needs to tell them the basics that like I assume he told them the basics already, what he wants to see, because it showed um, during the Genoa game that we played like a direct football with lots of long balls, um, and lots of man-to-man pressing, which I really liked. Um, and I guess he just needs to make these stronger, like these basics stronger for now, and then we will see. I expect a draw, to be honest. Um, I just really can't see how are we gonna win. But if we win 1-0, I don't care. We have 8 games left. We need to win most of them, and we get the Champions League spot. So that's the goal. Um, we just need to get the results, and I think it's possible. He just needs to have actual trainings before the games. Like now we have a week, so yeah, let's see.
No, it's. I think it's possible, but you know what? Like my stance the last I don't know how many days, the last week or so, has always been like, with 9 games to go, at the time, um, whoever you bring in, whoever you bring in, I do not trust these players. Not gonna move for that. Like I've seen coal miners out there on Saturday. It was bad. It was really bad again, you know. And we can talk about coaching and ideas, fine, but I think a lot of these players are just who they are right now, and I fear for it as well. So going in the last 8 games of the season, that is my biggest issue. Like if we don't make top four, I'm not gonna call out Tudor for it, because I don't
Yeah,
like I didn't expect Mota to get it with this squad at that point. I don't expect Tudor to get it as well. That's why I was like, when they sacked him, I was like, for me personally, I don't see the difference making. Like that's just me. Unless Bologna collapse and Lazio collapse and Roma start collapsing, and start, drawing games here and there, then yeah, you might get your way. But if they keep their pace and we need to match that pace, this squad is not going to match that pace. I will be stunned if we match the pace of the others are having right now. So that is my point. When, for example, Nico Gonzalez, because that was also like you said he played well, but unlike others, you added compared to previous games.
yeah,
And that's for me where it's like the previous games were so bad you couldn't even call it playing football at one point.
yeah,
So everything not that is better. But I watched the game and I watched 90 minutes of him not messing up basically, but also at the same time not doing much as well. There's no impact. I'm not when I watch him play, I'm not looking at him like he's gonna make something happen here. Like it's just hard work, doing basic stuff basically, but nothing to say, okay, he got it. He's back. He's on
yeah,
it right now. Like nothing like that. That for me is the issue, and that does like it's not gonna change with Tudor, because to get Gonzalez start playing football again, like you need magic rather than Tudor for 8 games. Like
yeah,
it's that Coal Miners, for example. It was so bad that even for the first time, a coach comes out like actually the last since Allegri and Motta. I've not. Maybe I'm wrong. hear any of those come out and actually say, yeah, Koopmeijer's having a bad moment, like he's not good at the moment, but he's gonna need to come out of it with hard work, so on, blah blah blah. Usually these things get, masked a little bit, and it's like, no, he's playing well when we know he's not playing well, and that performance, like he didn't got the memo. Like energy, fresh energy, he just brought in this same energy, if not worse. So that's why I'm looking at it, I'm like, fine, you got Tudor, but I don't trust these players. Like it's impossible for me to believe that somehow Gonzalez are playing football again. Okay, I don't see it happening. That's where my
Yeah,
issues is. And I feel for Tudor in that regard because it's his big opportunity and the way he acts, like it's his big opportunity. But I also fear for him in regards that it's not gonna be on him. It's gonna be rather be on the players. The reason he's
yeah.
not gonna live his dream for a very long time.
Yeah, it wasn't only Motta that the team played bad. He was on the players as well. We brought over 10 new players in, most of them starters, and some of them just don't understand what is it to play for Juventus. Um, or I'm not sure what's wrong with them, but something clearly missing. And yeah, um, for example, I don't know how long Vlahovic gonna be a starter. I think Roma, and that's it.
You
Because
think?
yeah, I think so. Like Tudor asked him to. Did you see that clip? Tudor asked him to hold the ball longer, and Vlahovic didn't really understand
I
why, or
didn't.
what's the.
I didn't
So I don't
see
know.
that. But he likes Flower. But like to
I
be
know.
honest, if you have that performance, and you know what it is, it wasn't an easy performance for him as well because we wanted to play direct. We tried to do
Yeah,
it, but I think in a wrong way. Like there were a lot of long balls, like a lot of them in the second half, like too many. I don't think that's a direct style of play Tudor wants to play. However, I don't think we had many options because it's still early, and I don't think they had a real clue how to get that direct football out there. But it was a lot of long balls, and he didn't do well with a lot of them. I thought a lot of them he got fouled by the Winter for some reason. He got away with
yeah,
some very
yeah,
strange stuff. Who, by the way, people were having a meltdown over because he was linked with Milan. I like him, but he's not that good. He played for Belgium against Ukraine away from home, and he got benched the next game because he cost him. Like he's good, but he's nothing special. So I just wanted to put that out there. However, if you have another performance like that, then in a normal situation you don't play, but this is not normal. He went from being benched for weeks, months, to now playing again, and Colomani is now in that situation. So even for Colomani, even if you put him, which mindset is he going to come in? Because he left PSG because
yeah,
he wasn't playing there. He joins Juve because the coach convinced you. Now the coach is gone, and you go from starter to bench again, and now you need to start again. I don't even know how he's gonna react onto it as well. So he needs to make a quick decision. If Roma's not good, because Vlahovic is gonna start against Roma, but if it's poor
yeah,
again, then the next one you need to save Colomani. You need to give him a shot because you cannot have another game of Vlahovic and after with 5 games or 6 games to go, tell Colomani, well, it's not really working out. Let's go back to. I think you lost him as well at that stage because 0 minutes
yeah,
after that performance Vlahovic had, I thought that was strange as well, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I would not start Cope Miners, and I might try something crazy and put Colomwani
Against
there,
Roma,
or Nico Gonzalez. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
I just, yeah, me
Sounds a bit
neither.
too. How do you want to call it? Like ballsy. Like it feels
Yeah,
like it's a bit too
yeah.
much for that type of
Because
game.
Cope Miners can defend as well, and it's nice when you have a 10 who can defend. Um, but yeah, that's what I would do because Cope Miners is clearly not working. Maybe he needs an entire summer with a coach, not because he came in really late, and then apparently winter wasn't enough for put himself together. but he had some good games at the beginning of the season, and then after his injury, he was completely gone. So yeah, and I don't even know if Kolumuani's style would fit this play. Like, can he even have like hold the ball at all? I don't know.
I don't like. I don't know as well, to be honest. But Bologna 3-0. They're on fire. But I mean, you don't have much choice. Like if you're not getting the goals, you need to do something. Somebody's saying, "Oops, Cambiasso after the Man City rumors has been out." Basically, yeah. To be honest.
Yeah.
Let me see what people are saying. Ooh, that's not good. Kali played well against Genoa, I think, as well. He did okay. I don't know if Tudor has got directives from the board to play Vlahovic to increase the value, because if so, they're risking our top 4 chances. Vlahovic is negatively affecting us and Kolo's mouse back. No, he just likes Vlahovic.
Yeah. 2 years ago, he said at Verona that he really likes Vlahovic, and he thinks he's the best striker in the league. So
I'm afraid Jules will get injured playing with Dusan and Cope. He's the only one that can create and play. He needs Kolo to play with him. I'm not sure why he will get injured. Explain. But we will talk about Yildiz in a sec. If you want to continue the back three, they will have to bring up a U player, but they're not good enough. And also in this situation, you cannot throw in a U player. Like you're throwing in Savona then at that point, because he has experience. You're not gonna. They're not good enough. That's all I'm trying to say. Like there's no Huijsen in the next gen.
yeah.
So
and trust me when I say this, that Savona in a back three will be a lot better than Savona as a right back.
I think that's right. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I don't know how is his injury. I really hope he can play because we will need him for sure.
I think we're gonna need him as well. Like not me saying that. Oh, we need his quality. You know, why are the names censored? They're not censored. It's just a glitch in YouTube, and trying to fix it. But for some reason, I can see them. You guys cannot see them for some reason. So I'm sorry, but it's not really working. Let me bring in the next one. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about Yildiz. I wanted to talk about Yildiz, to be honest, because Yildiz, you know, there are some weird narratives out there on Yildiz, in my opinion. You know, because he's not playing much and whatever, and I don't think it's a fair point that's out there. I believe, and welcome to Nino as well, who made it. You're on the.
Hey everybody, sorry I'm late.
Yeah, you didn't really miss anything, to be honest. But what I was talking about, Yildiz, there's a narrative out there with Yildiz that he's not playing much, and so on. But like he played a ton, like a lot of games. I think the stories out there should be he wasn't playing lately, and that should have been the question. Why are you not playing lately? You know, when we had games we were really struggling, and it was like, come on, you know, play him. That should have been the narrative of or whatsoever. But there's a lot of talk about Yildiz, you know, transfer wise and whatever, you know, name it. But the main thing remains that right now, because Bremer is out, he is the most talented player in the squad. And if, in my opinion, if we're gonna make it into top 4 somehow, we're gonna need performances like that. When the team was kind of flat, not much going, but he was on it, and you win that game. Is as simple as that, you know. Maybe against Roma, you don't have the ball in the entire game. It goes south completely. You got away with some saves here and there, but you get that one opportunity, and he curls it in, and it's one of those games as well, you know. So I'll start off with Nino first because you just joined. What do you make of the entire Yildiz narrative out there that he wasn't playing much, which was not really true. It was just at the time the links, the transfers, him holding the badge, like the entire thing, because we know what's gonna happen in the summer when it comes to news surrounding Yildiz.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you put. I'm not even gonna find it hard pressed to say probably your best player on the pitch in a situation like that, especially coming from Mota, who, if what he said was true, it's demoralizing to somebody who's young and trying to build their reputation and succeed with a club like Juventus, who has a lot of pressure. And I think it's almost like you're stunting the growth a little bit because you want the player to grow and express himself. And I think Juventus would be really, if Juventus needed to make a statement about really rebuilding the club, Yildiz is somebody that you can't afford to sell. Absolutely. If you sell Yildiz, then every Juventus fan is not going to believe anything you say about rebuilding or anything like that. Because when you have a piece like that you grew from home and it's not costing you anything to keep, well, it'll cost you something to keep them, but it's not costing you anything to bring them in. I think I think that's a necessity, honestly. Not even it shouldn't even be a thought. But I think he should be the one that's staying, and he should be given the freedom to, express himself and put his they should put his growth with the club as a priority.
Yeah, he's one of the most talented under 20 year old player right now in Europe, I feel. Also with Juventus, he scored 7 this season, which is the joint most goal by under 20 player. I think Moise Ken was 7 as well. So yeah, we should not sell him. And I think he wants to stay, but we will find out, to be honest, because who knows, Real Madrid or someone comes in, and then they gonna, how Florentino Perez is. He just writes letters to players, sweetens I don't know what sweet words in those letters, and players just go to Real Madrid. So I'm afraid of that, to be honest, a little bit. But yeah, Yildiz has to stay. If we want to sell someone, we can always sell Vlahovic and Cambiaso, and if we make Champions League, then we don't even have to think about selling other players. We can also sell like Douglas Luiz, or we can sell somehow Nico Gonzalez if we have to. But yeah, Yildiz has to stay.
I don't think we're gonna sell. Like, there's a lot of talks about him going even without Champions League. You can, like, you just can't. Like, I don't know how you're gonna sell that to the fans. I don't know.
You're
Like,
not.
we talked about they don't care about it. Whatever. They own the club. They do whatever. Fine, but you can, like, after the season you've had, the seasons, but especially this season, you cannot like, how are you gonna convince people to renew season tickets or just buy tickets, or like, it's impossible. If they think like me, it's impossible. That's what I'm trying to say, because
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the state. I went to the state in the season, but it was against Roma. It was very early on. I had no clue. However, if this is a team and Yildiz is not out there, I'm not paying to watch this. Like, I'm not paying 130 euros for a ticket to watch us play Empoli, because those are the prices at times. I'm not doing it. To watch what? So it's impossible. That, like, for me, it's impossible. If I need to come on in the summer and talk about us selling him, I'm actually done with this club, because I don't think he wants to leave. That's the thing. I don't think he's forcing a move or whatever. Even if we miss out on Champions League, I don't think he's actively telling the club, sell me, because I know the media is pushing, the teams are interested, and then I read the names and I see Manu on that list. I'm like, surely he's not that stupid, right? You have an agent and they can push you, but surely it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. They can offer whatever. I'm not doing that, because that's just career suicide at that stage, at this stage. So I don't think he's going to, conveniently enough, the reports come out there that Alcon is stepping in and basically saying you're not going, despite financial situations, we will find a way to make sure that you are not being sold. Period. No matter what's happening, you cannot leave. Like you just can't. Like you said, Norbert, you sell. Well, Cambiaso's probably gone. Which is not
Yeah.
fun. It fit Cambiaso, to be honest. But you can see already reports coming out that it's like, oh, it's Cambiaso and Douglas Luiz, which we don't recoup a lot of money for, probably. But it's Cambiaso, and you get Vlahovic out of the club, and you don't buy, you don't redeem this player, but you keep that player, for example. So I don't think it's by chance that those reports are coming out there, because at one point it was so negative that like Alcon needed to leak something. Those are leaks, by the way. Like those leaks come from his camp. They're not made up by the media just to sell something. They are leaked by them. With all the talks about, like, it's a mess at the club. Then you pair that with the club being sold rumors. Then you pair that with the Del Piero talk, and actually the fans sing. Well, Ali was at the stadium, and the fans did that for very obvious reasons. They sung his name, and then those leaks come out. I feel this like, yeah, they're coming from his camp. He needed to do something. He needed to leak something to calm the fan base a little bit down. Not completely, but a little bit down. Because, like I said, if you miss out on Champions League football, you need to play Europa League, and then you tell the fans, oh, by the way, Cambiaso and Yildiz are gone. See you next season. I don't think you're gonna see many people next season. I'm gonna be honest. Like, unless somehow you get a coach and you're in a title race for some reason the following year, then fine. But otherwise, not a lot of people are gonna come to watch you. Like, it's just what it is. The prices are so high, and it's nothing to do with loyal. The prices at the club, the ticket prices are so high that people have priorities. They're not going to pay that amount of money to watch us play Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. They're not going to do it on a Thursday evening. It's just not going to happen, So you need to do something. That being said, what I also want to add, it's a different position for Yildiz. Is that important? Is that the difference maker, Norbert? Compared to
Yes.
months, weeks prior?
Yes. He has to play in the middle for me, and then he has the chance to drift to the side if he wants, but he has to be there in the middle. And I have two side notes with Yildiz. One is that we signed him from Bayern Munich, so imagine them. What do they feel losing such talent? And that if we sell him, probably we will have to pay some money to Bayern Munich as a talent. I don't know what's the name of that fee.
Yeah.
When you sign someone who is under 18 and you need to pay some money to the academy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all the academies.
I think Yildiz. Yeah. So yeah, Yildiz in the middle. I think that's his place, and I think from now on he will be our top scorer. And he can also link up really well. He worked at the beginning of the season. He and Vlahovic worked really well. Obviously, it's a different tactic and all that, but yeah, Yildiz is our best player, and he has to play in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I think we would also be seeing a different, whole different team if you only substituted Vlahovic and Koopmeiners. This is my opinion, if you took those two out and put Kolomoani, and literally you could put anybody else in for Koopmeiners, and it would be a different game. We would have a different score line in that last game. It would be completely different. So I think it's sad to say it, but Koopmeiners is also kind of, not making Yildiz look bad, but it's hard for Yildiz to work off of Koopmeiners, who is his partner in the middle, to build up play, and then you're giving service into Vlahovic, who's kind of scuffing the ball on every other shot. So it's hard for him to really display his full capability, but you can see the glimpses of the difference of him playing there versus him playing on the right or left side.
Norbert, you're like the way you said Bayern must be kicking themselves. It's kind of like the Houston one. Only I don't think Bayern fans really knew what Yildiz had. We knew what Houston had. I thought that's kind of worse. I
I think
think
it's a lot bigger. Yildiz is a lot better of a player and a lot
yeah, but at,
different
at
than
that time when
Wilson.
they lost Yildiz and we lost Houston, like the fan base knew more
Mm.
about Houston
Yeah,
and the Bayern fan base knew more
Yeah.
about Yildiz. And the difference is
yeah,
Bayern will make up for it with transfers. We not like we do, like we bought Kelly to replace. Like you get the you get the gist.
yeah.
Bayern will fix it. And they already did, to be honest, as well. So still, they will probably be kicking themselves. Because they lost potentially like one of the faces of football in the next I don't know how many years. So it's tough for them, but yeah, it's not our problem. We have him. And Mendes is his agent right now, which is
Yeah.
not the best of things, if I'm being completely honest. However, like he's not. He will not force a player to a club. I think as much as
Yeah.
other agents. He can force a player out, but he will like if his top players, he will get them in a good situation most of the time. When they're at their peak. I think people just took the narrative and ran with it after he didn't feature versus Fiorentina. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that as well. I think getting Cambiasso back to form and keeping him is most important mission we have as a team. Yeah, but there's not much time left, so I think that feels like a mission impossible. To be honest, first staying fit and
Yeah,
then
well,
like getting him
as
going
as
again.
far as
Like
we yeah, but also as far as we know, he wants to leave. So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for Cambiaso, if they offer 60 million, I'm happy. I love him. I would love to have him stay. I think he's a great player. But if you're offering me 60 million for Cambiaso, I'll gladly, and he doesn't want to play for us anymore. I'm not mad at that at all.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that's just me.
no, I won't be mad. Like if a player wants to leave, he wants to leave. I'm like it is what it is. It's like I've I don't know if anyone watched or followed the trend situation with Liverpool and their fan base, like burning jerseys and stuff like that. I'm like, he's not gonna play for Everton. Like he's going to the biggest club in the world. You know,
Yeah.
um,
yeah,
and it is what it is. I hear some echo. Well, it is what it is. Like he's going to the biggest club in the world. So that's just what it is right now. But I'm not gonna hate Cambiaso. If you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. Like no hate. It
yeah.
is what it is. But if you want to be
More
here,
money, one of the top coaches, best coaches in the world, best club. So yeah,
yeah. But even if he's like, I want to join Nottingham Forest. Weird, but if you want to join Nottingham
more
Forest,
money.
if you don't want to be at this club, then it is what it is. That's the thing. But I'll pick up another narrative. The narrative was he wants out because he doesn't like Motta. Motta's not here anymore. So what now?
Hmm.
Like, does the narrative change? Like, does he want to stay right now? So because everybody focused on Motta. Oh, it's Motta. That's why he wants out. He doesn't like Motta. Now Motta's gone. Are the rumors gone? Is he willing to stay? Because if not, then it was not Motta. It was him. And again, pinning something on a coach or a guy who had nothing to do with it. That's what I'm interested to see in the summer. Because if he leaves, it had nothing to do with Motta. It had all to do with him wanting to go, which I think is an issue. I have an issue with that in terms of you wanted to go in January, but Man City never really came for you. So you kind of you kind of let it like the way he played. Like I need to assume that it had effect. Like he admitted. He said, the transfer news was unfortunate. I was like, unfortunate. I was like, it was not. Like you created it. It didn't happen. That's the issue. And you start playing rubbish, maybe because of it. But that's on you. Nobody did this to you. You did that to you, basically. So it's gonna be interesting in the summer because if he pushes for a move, then yeah, people were hitting on Motta, and the media was singling out Motta for no good reason. For that instant, for that isolated moment.
Yeah, but if you sell him, we will need to replace, and that's a harder question. As we all know, finding uh, left back, right back, or left wing back, right wing back is not the easiest thing.
It's the worst.
And yeah, it's the worst. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say Nico Gonzalez is a replacement, but I'd like to see him at that position a few more games. Because maybe he showed some promise in the last game. So, if he can consistently pull that performance against like a club like Inter or a club that's higher, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a Cambiaso replacement because Cambiaso's miles better than him. But it could be an option for now, and then we can reevaluate when we have the funds to make the big transfer. Because for some reason, all of the speculation that we are seeing now is strikers. Like we're selling because we're selling Duzon and we're looking at. I saw a post today. It's like Retegui, Lookman, Osimhen, and David. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all these strikers are worth 60 million or more easily. Besides David, who would be a free transfer.
But
So I'm just, it's hard.
funny enough, I recorded a video for tomorrow, which is all about strikers and Jonathan
Yeah.
David. But the talk is about strikers because we have no strikers in the summer. That's why the talk, like Vlahovic is not, even if Tudor stays, like he's gone. The club is not going to go into the season with his contract situation. He's gone. They're not going to redeem Kolomani because he was Motta's guy. And Milik, well, I
He's
could
done.
only So you have nobody. So like
Is he alive?
the talk is gonna be about the strikers 100%. Like because you don't have a striker in the summer. So
Yeah.
and you need two. You're gonna need two. That's one thing. The other thing is that back line. Well, it's all over the place. Like
Yeah.
it's it's actually crazy because you don't know. Nobody knows how Bremer is gonna come back. Cabal, you don't hear anything about him as well. Actually,
Yeah.
for a minute, let's be serious. Is everything okay with Cabal? Because I've not seen or read anything for months, and I'm being that serious right now. So that's also a question mark. Then those are two.
Bremer is already having he's running and stuff on the pitch.
Okay, he can run, but you don't know how he's coming back, setbacks and so on. But
yeah.
so that's two. Vega, let's assume he's gone, because we don't own Vega. So he's gone, You have Kalulu, Gatti, Kelly, because, well, he's going to stay. We're going to need to redeem him. And then you have Savona, who I don't think is going to be at the club next summer as well, to be honest. Timothée Weah shouldn't be taken into account as a defender. It's right now, but, if you're a serious club, it's not, So those departments are going to need to have a massive boost. I don't want to go into the season banking our hopes, hoping Bremer can stay fit. Because if we do that, we're going to have one of those seasons again. With all, knock on wood, it's impossible that he's going to stay fit. It's just impossible. He's going to have some niggles and setbacks here and so on. So for me, it's impossible. So it's going to be a crazy summer, again, in a good or a bad way. But
yeah. If we are serious and we're selling Cambiaso, we will need.
I forgot about him as well.
We will need two starters because Well can stay in my book as a sub on the right wing back position, because I think he, especially when the other team, the opponent team is tired and he comes in fresh, I think he can do a damage, as he almost scored against Genoa as well. But yeah, we would need at least one to the center defender, but I think two, honestly, two in the middle, and one on the left, one on the right. So yeah, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, and it would depend on the formation we play as well with whoever's coaching. I think our focus, obviously, like you said, it should be strikers. And I wanted to know your guys' opinion. I saw speculation about Lorenzo Luca as well. I know some people like him, some people don't, but I don't think he'd be a terrible option as a second option. We would obviously
30 million.
30 million is a little too much, to be honest. But
what I thought when I saw the news, the first thing that came to mind, I was I was just replaying every set piece we take this season. I was like, he's gonna absolutely hate this club. Like
Yeah.
our set pieces are. It was so bad that Tudor came in his first presser and he said it needs to improve, and I know that was an
You were the
understatement.
17th, I think, right, or something like that
Yeah,
in the league.
it's bad. Like we cannot take it. It doesn't matter who takes it. Yildiz, Colt Miners,
Yeah.
Douglas. Look at like it doesn't matter. It's too low. It's too far. It's just everywhere where it shouldn't be. You know. So when I saw the Luka news, I'm like, no. And you're right. Like 30 mil. I mean, that's way too much. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's a Juve quality player, to be honest.
Yeah, a sub, but for 30 mil, no, thank you.
Even for a sub,
Yeah.
like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of his, to be honest.
You have to. The only thing that I will say about that is like not everybody's gonna come to the club and be like the next Yildiz or Kellini. You know what I mean? Some guys are gonna come to the club, and I mean actually our club right now has nobody to develop the younger players, but like theoretically you would have some older players, and the young players come in, learn from them, and then they develop into the player you want them to be. I just think that he would have a higher ceiling than paying 70 million for a striker who like was the same thing that we did with Vlahovic. We paid 80 million for him and he kind of flopped. But that's kind of like an anomaly. Uh, we have a bad record of paying 60, 70,
Yep.
45 million dollars for players right now that are just absolutely in the mud. So I think having a player, whether he's a backup or not, that you can bring in and have him develop, I think would be good for the team, and it would be good for, like I said, the progression before of like the club over the years.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't expect, I don't expect 60 million. Like I know we're gonna need players where I'm like, I don't really like you, just to fill up the squad. Um, because let's be realistic, with the names out there, it's probably gonna be like that. We're not gonna get Sesko or Gyökeres. Like it's just not gonna happen. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what the club is gonna do in the summer, because we don't have the funds to like splash 80 million euro again like we did on Vlahovic. Like it's not gonna happen. So that one I'm actually interested to see how the club is gonna
Yeah.
cope with it. But that's a worry for another time, I think, or for in the summer. Like it's just simple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Osimhen. I know a lot of people want Osimhen. He's a great striker and everything, but I don't know. I don't know how much I'm a fan of him. I know he's Giuntoli's guy, but I I'm just I'm
Yeah,
skeptical of him, to be honest. And I think if we can get Jonathan David on a free transfer, and his salary can't be 9 million this season. If we can
yeah.
lower that salary, I would gladly take Jonathan David as a free transfer. But
I feel like if you spend 70 mil, it has to be like a top-notch player, and we
yeah,
can't get a top-notch player like
no,
Gyökeres or Sesko. So
yeah.
yeah,
And if I'm spending at this point, if I'm Giuntoli and looking at what I've done, if I'm spending over 70 million, like he said, it better be somebody that's proven season in, season out,
yeah.
coming to the club with experience. Um, but who
And
knows?
even Gyökeres, I'm sorry, he's playing in Portugal. Like, come on, he's not playing at the top league. He's playing at Portugal. And Sesko is, I don't know, he's good, but like still 70 mil or 60 mil. It's
I
like
think Gyökeres
Giuntoli
has a
supposed to
release clause,
fund.
55,
Oh, okay.
something like that. But
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
not. He's going
Jun.
Premier League, So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giuntoli needs to find some diamond in the rough or something, some smaller leagues or something, and I don't know.
That's why I also kind of like the idea of Luca as well, because the midfield service that he gets at Udinese is a little different than what he would get at Juve. So in some aspects, like you said, on the set pieces, it'd be worse. But I mean, I think Thuram and Locatelli would give him a solid service, because they do it to Vlahovic. They give Vlahovic the service that he needs, but he just the whole season he consistently just missed and missed and missed. He missed the sitters, he missed everything, and I think for the cheaper price point, it's a lower risk. And he's Italian, so it clears up one of the roster spots.
Yeah. For me, the set pieces is a question that is, I think it's silly to think that we don't have top set piece takers. If you look at Douglas Luiz, for example, at Aston Villa, he was like crazy good. Cope Miners as well at Atalanta, he was crazy good. It's just set piece trainings, whatnot. It just didn't work this year. But I don't think it's the takers, to be honest.
No, I mean we have the quality. Like we have players who should who should be able to take a very simple set piece. I don't think that's the issue, but I think we also have players with quality enough to not be in this position, but we are in this position, you know. So I don't know how he's gonna figure it out, but he's gonna need to figure it out because we don't look dangerous on set pieces, you know, and that's a massive issue. That's a problem, you know, in many games, you know, when things are tight, you know, that should be a solution. Right now, it's not a solution. The flip side is we're also bad at defending set pieces, you know, so doesn't make any of this very, very good. Sesko is the only option I like, and he's far from the finished product. Osimhen will surely live in J Medical. I don't want to deal with Atalanta for either Retigi or Lukman. The Retigi one is bullshit, by the way. He's not cool.
Lukman is not a striker in my book.
Yeah, he's not a striker. So,
and he's 28. So how many more years are you gonna get out of prime Lukman? It's like if you're trying to go young with it and build up, I think none of those are the option.
Somebody says Osimhen does miss a lot of chances. He does, you know, but he used to do that when he played over here in the Belgian league. You know, he's always been the same. But at the end of the season, he's double figures always. You know, so make that of that what you want.
And if you think De Laurentiis is gonna give us a deal on him, you've lost your mind because he's not gonna give anybody a deal on him.
No, he's not. But if Chelsea doesn't come in, he messed up. He messed up the situation. By sending him to Galatasaray, the value is gone.
That's crazy.
Like that, I cannot believe that happened. Like when that happened in the summer, I was like, "It's a joke, right?" You know, because he was valued over 100 million, like a couple of months before that. Like, that's just horrible business, you know. With all due respect to Galatasaray, and I don't think even Chelsea will be that insane to splash 80 million euros. Like, it's just not going to happen. So maybe, I don't know, maybe give them Gatti because they want Gatti. I don't know. Also, because Manna like Gatti, but I've seen reports that Manna could be back already, which is not a good idea. So. Osimhen is strong. You need a striker to be strong. Every striker misses chances. I would take him over what we have now easily. We should go for Yo, you go.
Well, no, I was gonna say just obviously, anybody would take Osimhen over what we have, being Vlahovic. But if you're gonna compare Osimhen and Kolo Muani, I think Kolo Muani and Osimhen have very similar profiles.
Yeah, that's not that much different.
It's not that far off. So if you're gonna say you want Osimhen, I would just redeem Kolo Muani at that point.
You know what it is with Kolo Muani? It's more tacky. Like Osimhen can bully you a little bit. Like he's extremely strong on the ball. He's less tacky, but his finishing, he missed a lot of chances, but also the chances he finished a lot of times are just quality. I don't have an issue with him as talent wise. I do have an issue with him, you know, mindset wise, because that seems to be an issue, you know, over where we go. So that might be the problem. Again, you know, to be at the top and then go Galatasaray, with all due respect, again, I don't know, man. With the Saudi links, like a very weird situation. I don't know if I want that at the club. If we need that at the club, to be honest.
Yeah, no, not for that price, in my opinion.
And Ekitike is going Premier League for sure. So, okay, that's that. Final talk. We touched on it a little bit. It's Roma because we play Roma on Sunday. Sunday evening, I think it is. I think it's the last game. I want to say must win, but I've said it, I don't know, 10 times this season. But right now, it's a must win. You know, if you don't win it, you're in some serious trouble. You know, like you need to win that game. Otherwise, like Bologna are just going. Lazio, Yeah, but Roma are coming. Like the form they're on, points wise, is just it's mind boggling. With the squad
Yeah.
with the squad they have, it's actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So it's gonna be a very tough game for us. I'm gonna ask you, Nino, because I asked Norbert earlier on already. What do you expect? Because now he has a full week of training with the group. What do you expect on Sunday? Do you expect more of the same, just some more mentality and grind it out, or are you expecting some clear things where it's like, okay, we worked on this and this?
Yeah, I mean, Roma. I think I think people underestimate Genoa. Genoa was a strong team, especially with their new coach. So I think we held them off pretty well. I think we played a solid game. I'm expecting if Tudor makes the adjustments that I think he needs to make. If he's not, I don't want to say thick-headed, but if he's not like Moto was, and he just is like one path and go, then I think we will see a lot different of a game, especially for the week of practice. But if he keeps Cope Miners in and he keeps Vlahovic in for even if Vlahovic comes out at the 45th or 60th minute, I think we're gonna see something similar than what we're seeing with Mota. And I hate to say that because I love Tudor, but that's just something you can't have. For me, I would, and Roma has more quality than Genoa. So some of the chances that Genoa had against us would probably be in the back of the net if it was Roma, depending on who's taking the strike. So I think he needs to really work on the defense, and that's the part that's scaring me the most. Is are we going to be able to hold off Ranieri's attack? And I think clinically we can make it in the end because we had a lot of chances versus Genoa, but the defense is what scares me the most because we can score if we need to, but it's gonna depend on the back three and who's playing, in my opinion.
I, yeah, the back line scares me as well. But it's scaring me the entire season, so I'm kind of getting numb to it right now.
Yeah,
But I mean, what it is. We will leave a lot of space. I think Roma as well. When I watch Angelino play, I mean, you can get at him, but I don't know if we will be ready. I don't know if we will be ready. Excuse me, to get at them and to go to have a go. Like that's my thing with it. I'm not sure if we will be up for it. That's where I'm standing. I don't expect much of a change, to be honest. Even with a week, it's tough, man. I don't know what are your expectations. I didn't really ask. I think what are the expectations for Tudor? No, but what do you, with 8 games to go now? Okay, with the Genoa one included. What do you expect? I don't know what the club the club expects get us into the top four, but that's just
Yeah.
very simple. Get top four, whatever. But what do you expect, specific wise?
So for me, I have no expectations towards Tudor because he came into a big mess,
yeah,
and we can't expect any coach to put out a crazy good team from what we have. I want the Grinta back, and I don't know. I want to. So, for example, against Genoa, we already had we didn't have a drop off. The 90 minutes was it was the entire game was okay. I'm not saying good, but the entire there was no longer periods when we were horrible. So that's already a good thing. And yeah, I said this many times. I like this man-to-man press, and the players seem to able to hold it for the entire 90 minutes. Here and there, they took a few minutes off, but nothing crazy. And even then, zero big chances for Genoa. There was that one chance, but they didn't count. The statistics didn't count it as a big chance. I would have, but yeah, I just want to win as many as possible. I don't care how we play because that should not be a goal to play good football. We just need to collect the points, get into Champions League, have the fight in the players, and then we will see what the future holds.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not mad at Tudor whether he makes it or not because he's coming in at a time of need. I think I think what I want to see really is the cohesiveness of the players, and the players that are going to stay, that we know are going to stay, are going to get priority. Because if you're going to sit here and tell me you're going to play Vlahovic, the only reason you should be playing Vlahovic is to increase his value for sale for the summer, because we're not sitting here playing him because he's performing, because he's consistently not performing. So I think the cohesiveness of the group and the core players who are going to stay, I think just getting their mentality back to where it needs to be is my goal for Tudor, and hopefully top four. But top five, I'd be like it is what it is at that point.
I I don't have expectations. You know, I don't like my expectation was we don't get top four with Mota, with Tudor, whatever. That was my expectation. You know, so I don't have much expectation. But if you expect to get top four, I agree with Norbert. Like, it doesn't matter how, you just need to get it.
Yeah.
You know, if you play well, if you don't play well, if you stink it out for 90 minutes, but you just get the wins. Right now, that's the only thing that matters because like even if we get top four, I'm not even sure if he's gonna be there. Maybe like if we scrape it and it's ugly, he's not gonna be here Tudor. Like even then, the club is like probably gonna say no. We start clean. If he somehow starts playing fantastic football, and even then, I'm like in the summer, I don't think he should be the coach next season as well. I don't care what happens right now because it doesn't feel like I don't want to call it a project, but it's more of a quick fix. You know, get a reaction. It doesn't feel like we really believe in this long term, you know, whatever it means at this club right now. So
I think they will go for Conte, whatever happens. That will be
I
the first.
Yeah, I think it depends on who becomes available, to be honest. Because on the chance that Conte stays with Napoli, which I don't think is going to happen, but on the chance that he stays with Napoli and Gasperini is still with Atalanta, who else is really available for us? Do you guys want Mancini? Maybe not. Probably not. Do you guys want, Klopp?
Xavi.
Xavi? You bring Xavi? Like, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
if somebody like Klopp or Guardiola knocks on the door, fine, yeah, fire him. That's fine. That's fine with me. But if somebody like Mancini's the only option, I'm kind of hesitant, because if he built the squad up this season and there's nobody else, you might as well give him next season. But I think it just depends.
Yeah,
it
if
will
the
depend.
team gels really good, like there's a cohesion and it's working and something is visible, that the change is a lot bigger than what we thought is possible, then I think he might stay. But I think it's entirely depending on Conte right now.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens, I think I know who like I know the guy who's gonna pick the next coach, and it's nobody who's at the club daily. You know, I can tell you that. You know, whoever picks the next coach, it's not coming from Juntali. It's coming
Yeah.
from up top, and Juntali is gonna
Absolutely,
need to make it work. You know, with players and whatever,
Yeah.
but he's not gonna get the final say. He didn't get the final say right now, so I think that's very very telling. And he better gets because to be honest, after like Agnelli also picked the coaches, and the other guys needed to make it work. You know, figure it out. You know, you're a sporting director. That's the profile I pick. Now you need to get the players. You know, because he brought in Allegri. You know, when Conte left, it was Agnelli who said Allegri's coming in, like, and it's well documented. He picked Allegri, didn't pick Sarri, and it was clear because he went back to Allegri. Allegri, like it's very clear, like Pirlo, like good or not good, whatever. I think it's very clear what they try to do right there.
And also one more thing about Tudor is that his job is really hard because he doesn't have his staff. He has like two
Yeah.
dudes from his staff because everyone has a job, a different team. So like they brought up two guys from the under-20s, and he brought two guys in, and that's it. So I don't know. It also makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not easy. Someone's saying Farioli from Ajax. If you don't get, I don't think the club is
Oh
gonna
my
go
God.
that direction again. He's extremely young. He does things well. Also, I think there's a weird narrative out there. People think like he's an attacking coach and so, but if you watch his Ajax play, they're very solid defensively as a team. Also they don't have a lot of quality in that team, to be honest. Ajax. So what he's doing is actually crazy, to be honest, because compared to PSV, like the quality, it's not really there. So what he's doing is actually crazy. But I don't think the club is going to go that direction again. If Conte somehow, like, I don't know if you read the quotes from Conte post game, they were strange. Like, I'm being nice. They were really strange. They were about it's good right now. Like, if like he gave weird vibes. To be honest, it gave very strange vibes. As well, but nobody will be shocked if Conte's like, I'm done after one season. That's kind of the issue a lot of fans have with him, that he's like, did my job right here, and you're like, not really, but fine, and he's out. So
he's done that with so many clubs. It's the only thing that scares me about bringing Conte back is when I watch Napoli this season. They play one solid half of football, and then once they score, it's kind of like Allegri style again. Like, if you watched, I don't know if any of you guys caught the Milan game the other day.
Yeah, second
Milan,
half.
the second half, I was like, oh my god, Milan's gonna score again. Like so Napoli played well. They started the game off amazing. Obviously, they deserved to win, but then they just kind of like sit back and not really fall apart.
But you know what it is? Like, let's be completely honest. That Napoli team, quality wise, is terrible. Like, he's playing, he's making Politano look like Messi, the same Politano he absolutely hated back at Inter. It's actually, like, if you look at that team Napoli have, and he puts out there, I'm sorry, nobody's gonna rate that. If they win the league, nobody's gonna rate that Napoli team. It's like what he's doing. One game a week still, but there's no real quality. Let's be completely honest. Like, no teams in Europe are looking at Napoli. And again, that's nothing to do with us. Like, I'm not saying we are good and teams are picking our players out. I'm not saying that. However, nobody is gonna come in for Napoli. Like, that's just credit to Conte that he's getting these
100%.
that much. So I think there's a limit at one point. Like, with the second half, he's getting wins, and many times I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't know how you pulled that, to be honest. So that's that as well. But what's coming with Conte. It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of question marks. Is he gonna stay?
Plus, also, he's not a guy for a long-term project.
No, I don't think the club is
Only
looking for that
short
right
term.
now, to be honest. I think the club is looking get us back on track, and then we will see again. But Conte made Di Lorenzo look good again. Yeah, and if Conte leaves, Di Lorenzo will be back to crap, because he's not good. Like, he's not good. But he makes very average players look good, or very good as well. So yeah, that's credit to him, to be honest. And that's actually insane. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up because we're almost over 70 minutes in, and I've said what I have to say. Conte needs Iturbe to stay at the club. Good times. Good times. Imagine he wanted Iturbe. Didn't he go to Mexico after Roma and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I thought it was Mexico. That was crazy. That Verona team was crazy as well. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up, people. If you haven't liked the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Not sure if I will be live again this week. Friday I'm out. Saturday I'm out. Maybe Thursday. It depends how my schedule looks like in a couple of days. But yeah, it's been actually a quiet week, to be honest. Maybe it's good. There's not a lot of news and crazy stuff out there, which I think positive. I think we needed that as well. After the last couple of months, actually the last couple of years, to be honest, every international break is like, it's like, what the hell is gonna happen right now? Something crazy is gonna happen, from gambling to doping to boards being sacked, coaches being sacked. Like, it's actually been wild. So it's actually good that we have a calm week. Hopefully it means we will show up fresh on Sunday. But Norbert, Thanks for joining, Nino. Thanks for joining as well. A bit late, but you had a valid reason. Not gonna tell the people why, but still fun. You made it. And yeah, next week we'll be back and talk about, I don't know. Let's hope a win. Because imagine if we don't win and Lazio win and all the other teams win, then it's not going to be a fun week, and then you will have a packed week with all news reports out there, very weird ones. So hopefully avoid that. But people, that's it. Have a good evening and stay safe as always.